Are you telling me that you built a time machine? Out of a DeLorean?
Howdy, howdy, folks. A-Train here with you for another Wildcard Wednesday, and we are back on Kerbin for another episode with Kerbal Space Program. Let's see where we stand. We're day one of year one, 8 minutes in, and what have we done already? We've unlocked some science. We've unlocked the basic rocketry, engineering 101, general rocketry, as opposed to lieutenant rocketry or captain rocketry. But hopefully at some point we're going to get to being major rocketry and survivability. What do these things have? They have stuff. All right. The reason we went is we started with this, with the start, obviously. Rocket science, right? Engineering 101, we researched so we could get the thermometer, too hot thermometer, so we could get more science. After we researched that, we did a mission and we unlocked a hammer solid rocket booster, some liquid fuel tanks, and a rocket engine. Then we got more science because we flew out over the water and we got some in-flight science and in the water science. So that allowed us to unlock the Presmat barometer, Presmat, yeah, easy for me to say, Presmat barometer, and some other parachutes, and some other stuff, some heat shields and whatnot. Capsules, I don't think need the heat shields. These are more for containers. If you're coming in one of the science containers or whatever, trying to re-enter one of those through Kerbin's atmosphere or another atmosphere. All right. So we unlocked general rocketry. This gives us a little bigger fuel tank, and it gives us the Reliant liquid fuel engine, which actually has a higher kilonewton thrust. It's 205 and 240. Let's see what the T45 is. It's 169 and 215. So this engine is not as powerful as this engine. But the difference is this engine does not gimbal, which means swivel, like the swivel engine does. So this gives you some control of the craft that this engine does not, which makes it a little better for use as a booster. Or when you have more control with bigger fins or a higher level of control system. It's not an engine I use very much, even though, again, you do, let's see, your ISP, which is your, so here's your thrust, 265 to 310 seconds, ISP. Rocket science stuff, and I'm having a brain dump and forgetting it right now. ISP is 250 to 320 on the swivel, which I think is your total output, okay? So the thrust is higher from the Reliant than the swivel, right? But the swivel will give you more thrust over time. That's basically what the ISP is, okay? All right, so there's our science. So what we want to do, we only have 6.3 science in the bank right now. We want to get some more science. We can unlock stability because these winglets are good to have, as is this radial decoupler, okay? So there's a couple things there that we want to get, but we can't right away. Now, if we roll back the mouse button here a little bit, you'll see more things come into view, okay? So the question is, where do we want to go from here? Now, this is only 18 science, so we only need 12 to get that, okay? Basic science, see, now we start getting into bigger numbers. And here we get into stuff like radio antennas, this is a better high gain antenna. Science Junior, this is a good one to get right here. And we get a battery. Battery's good. We also get a probe core for Stay Putnik, which means we can launch unmanned probes. And then we get a radiator panel, which we won't really use anytime soon. And scan radar altimetry sensor. I'm not sure if we get science out of that one or not. I'll have to look into that. Not something I use a lot of initially anyway. All right, so anyway, let's quit Willy Foo-Fooing around and go see what Gene Kerman has going over here in the emission control. All right, we don't have any active missions. We've run the active missions. Okay, so now we have some options of things we can do, and that is conduct a focused observational survey of Kerbin. This, let's see, CEO and chief bottle washer at Curlington Model Rockets and Paper Products has stumbled on a problem. We don't know too many interesting things. Want you to take a look around. Blah blah blah. Need to test our newly acquired capabilities with focused survey of Kerbin. Go to the designated test site and gather some observational reports. Okay. Now, all right. So here it is. You have to take a crew report in flight. Okay. So crew report is what you have to do. In flight is where you got to do it. Above 18,000 meters. So in flight above 18,000 meters is where? Near Bill's isolation. Okay. Here's the thing about these missions, and there's a bunch of them, and they're kind of stupid, all right? But there's money to be made if you want to go make it. You can find this on the map by going so we're looking for Bill's isolation. We're going to go to the tracking station. All right, the tracking station shows, see, there's Gene again. He's come to the tracking station. All right, so here we're going to take the right mouse button to move around Kerbin. All right, there off in the distance, you can see the moon. Okay, that's the closer of the two orbiting bodies around Kerbin. And then if I zoom, there is Kerbin itself, the sun. All right, Minmus is out there too. I'd have to, there we go. Let me scroll out and just show you. There's Minmus. Okay, that's the outer moon. It actually has lower gravity. It's easier to land on than the moon itself. All right, it's more forgiving. So that's really a better first target than the moon. Okay, so here's Kerbin. And this little thing that looks a lot like, Africa, that's where we are. Basically, wait a minute. That's as far as I can zoom in. I think we are actually right under... Yeah, there we go. All right, I can kind of get it right here. Kerbal Space Center is right here. Okay? Right on this little tip of this peninsula sticking out here. All right? So, Bill's isolation above 18 kilometers. So these are the different missions. They're showing you where they are. All right? So here is Valentina's escape. All right? And then there's Sean's cannery. Ha. If you're a James Bond fan. Here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one. Okay? So these are different missions right now that are going on out there. Now, we'll come back to this later, but eventually as we start launching flights and putting satellites up and stuff, you'll be able to see different things going on up in this little panel up here. Okay? That's what that's for. All right. Let's get out of there. And let's look at... let's go back and see what the missions are. Because some of these are a little bit easier. Like test a part. Okay, here we go. Test a thumper. All right, see, because a bunch of these are conduct blah, 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 blah. Okay, whatever. We don't want to mess with those. Orbit Kerbin. That's a big one. Test a radial decoupler. Okay, we didn't unlock that yet. Test a heat shield in flight over Kerbin. Let's see what altitude that is at. 49 to 60,000 meters. Okay. Did we unlock the heat shields? I think maybe we did. Escape the atmosphere, which you've got to get above 70,000 meters. Okay. So now, here's an idea. You escape the atmosphere by getting above 70K. And everything's in meters. Okay. You got to come back through the atmosphere with a heat shield on, and you'd complete this mission. Okay? And what's our rewards here? We'd make a bunch of cash. We'd make some science. Make some prestige. If we escape the atmosphere, we'd make some science. Cash, science, prestige. Okay? So that's good stuff. All right? Things we want to look at doing. We want to look at how we can make money and how we can get more science. Okay? Now, keep in mind, as you go up through the different layers of the atmosphere, they kind of count as a different biome. So you can take a crew report, you can take goo readings, you can take temperature readings, and we'll be able to take barometer readings with the new PresMat barometer. So the first thing we're going to do is going to be kind of a replay of last week, because we have a new science toy. We need to use it to get science from where we can. That's easy. And then we'll go do something bigger. All right. So let's look at checking out the Thumper solid fuel booster, because we know we have that. Okay. Test the booster. Altitude 19,000 to 27,000. Speed 270 to 450 meters per second. This one's kind of tricky, because the Thumper with just the capsule, I don't remember if it gets us this high. So we may have to do a little bit of playing around. And the speed becomes a factor too. Okay? So there's a little bit of science and money and prestige involved in this too. All right. So we're going, we can only take 2 active contracts. Right now, we'll play around with that one. Oops. And then the heat shield's got to be at what? 49 to 60? I think we can get that high with those boosters. So let's take that one, and let's take the heat shield. Okay, so we can only have 2 right now. So we'll take this out. Let me see the administration building, the place where we go. So this is Mortimer and Linus and Walt Kerman and Gus Kerman, okay? And these are different things you can do here. What I'm trying to is it outsourced R&D? No. Fundraising. Takes funds. Science. Research rights sell out. That adds some fun. It's kind of silly. Bailout grant adds money. Aggressive negotiations. Yeah, I don't think we're going to mess with anything in here right now. Those are strategies. Oh, you know what? It's when you upgrade mission control that you can take more contracts. All right, see there? You can upgrade these. Didn't really mention this last time. So you can upgrade all these facilities like 2 or 3 times. Okay, so upgrade would cost $75,000, and then we can take up to 7 contracts. Okay, so that's what we do here. We're going to have to upgrade the launch pad at some point, because then you get to a bigger vessel. All right, see, the vessel size goes from 20 to 36 meters and up to 140 tons from 18 tons. Okay, so that's a pretty critical one that you have to do. All right, upgrading R&D cost a bunch of money, and then it allows you to take surface samples and resource transfers and do different things. All right, and then the VAB, you've got to upgrade, which is expensive. All right, look, max parts supported 30, max parts supported 255, and basic action groups become available. All right, so and then I think the further upgrade beyond this is like 750,000, whatever. All right, we're not going to worry about that at the moment. We took those couple of missions. Let's see what we can do about getting these missions real quick. We got to get up to what, 18, 19,000, and we're going to try to get higher. But first, we're going to build our basic little ship. All right, we're going to take our command pod, because you got to have a command pod first. Okay, and we're going to build with the flea engine like we did last time. Okay, we're going to click, drag, and drop. Boom. Now it's there. We got to put a parachute on, so we go down here to utilities. We're going to put on Mark 16 parachute. Doink. And the only thing we need science-wise this time is going to be a Presmat barometer, because we're going somewhere we've been before. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it down here. I'm going to hit the X key 1, 2 times. Why are you hitting it 2 times, A-Train? So we'll have 3 of them. Look down the bottom left. Now this looks like a radioactive in the symmetry thing. All right. What that did was that put 3 barometers around the ship. Okay. There's 3 of them now. We're going to be taking 3 readings during this flight. Okay. And okay, so down here we need to add a separate stage. And we're going to move the booster down to the first stage. Okay. So stage 1 fires first. That's the booster. And then that's going to send us up. And then we're going to arc over. And we're going to splash down the water under the parachute. So why 3 barometers? We're going to take a reading on the launch pad, a reading in flight, and a reading in the water. We've already taken crew reports from all 3. We've already taken goo readings from all 3. We've already taken temperature readings from all 3. Now we're going to do barometer readings from all 3. Okay? So, let's get... all right, Jebediah's got some points here, right? So we're actually going to swap Jeb out, and we're going to fly Valentina with this mission. We're going to get her some experience, okay? So let's go back over to build, and let's take it out to the launch pad. So this is going to be pretty straightforward. We launch. We're going to take a reading on the pad. We launch. We arc out towards the coast. We take a reading in flight. Once we're over the water, we pop a parachute. And then once we're down in the water, we take another reading, okay? So I'm going to bring this around to this side. And we're going to go ahead and take a reading. Right-click, log pressure data, okay? Atmospheric pressure scan from launch pad. Collected and recorded atmospheric pressure data from the surroundings. 3.6 science, okay? So that's good. Good to go. We're going to keep the experiment. Now notice, we would lose 1.1 points if we transmitted it, all right? We don't have anything to transmit with, so we're not going to transmit. All right. I just moved the camera view around like a doofus. All right. What did I do to the camera view? There we go. Doofus. All right. So let's hit it. Valentina, you ready? Oh, you know what? Let me get the view there. I want the view right here. I want to get rid of this Presmat barometer. There we go. So I want to be where I can see these other 2 barometers in flight, okay? And we're ready. We're going to hit the space bar to launch. Space bar sends you through the staging, okay? So only hit it 1 time. So 3, 2, 1, let's go. All right, now we're arcing up. I'm angling over to the right. There we go. So this is a pretty good little booster. We're going to get us angled out because we definitely want to be over the water. We're kind of bouncing around here a little bit. Come on, Valentina, get it under control. And we're going to burn out of fuel. You see the fuel rating there? We're running out of fuel, and then also we can't use our parachute this time. So we're going to right-click on this barometer, log pressure data. All right, that got us 8.4 science, okay? Now, it's burned out. We're going to keep the data. Now basically we're floating. All right? I mean, we're still going uphill fast, and we're going to go uphill fast for a little bit. And we're going to keep going uphill, and we're going to slow down, and we should be over the water now. So I right-click and hold. I can see we're over the water, all right? So now, the nose is pointed in the direction of travel. That's what the VIC indicator with the dot means, and then the circle. Once we stall out, the circle part is the direction the ship's going upward, all right? On the opposite side of this ball, the gimbal, okay, is that other symbol that looks like this. Okay, and that's going to come around to our side as we stall out, and try to keep the ship oriented. See, now we're stalling out. We get down to about 81. Whoa, Valentina, get it under control. Toggle the SAS, try to get us under control. SAS is the stability assist system. There's a little bit of that on the on this little pod here. Okay, now we've stalled out. We are now coming down. Okay, so now we're going to start dropping. Now here's the thing. Grabbed it. Crew report flying over Kerbin's water. Okay, that was something I didn't do with Jebediah last time, so we picked up a little more science. He took a crew report, but it was over Kerbin's shores, and I would have to. We'll have to look at that. Remember, I mentioned last episode about biomes. There's biomes all over Kerbin. There's the Kerbin Space Center, okay, and there is another biome between it and the water, and that, between the launch pad and the water, and that is the Kerbin shores. Okay, then you have the water. Then that now we're kind of oriented. See how there's a cross inside that, and it's like a triangle and a cross. All right, that means we're dropping basically straight down. All right, and we're coming down through 5,000 meters. All right, now I'm not sure. We're going to check this. Okay, we're going to reset the experiment because basically we just got the same data that we got earlier. I thought maybe because we were over water we would get something different. All right, I'm going to hit the space bar to go ahead and pop the parachute, and it's going to open in drogue mode right now. It's reefed. That's what we call it. So it's only partially open. It's acting like a drogue to kind of stabilize us, but not really slow us down at the moment. And that'll get us down. I mean, our surface speed is coming down, but until we get down to about 1,000 meters, and you can set the altitude on the parachute deploy, it will fully start to open at 1,000 meters, and then that will slow us down to a nice gentle like 6 meters per second. So there we go. Now the parachute's opening. And now we're dropping down real quick. Our speed just dropped way down. G-forces went way up as it threw us down in our seat. Threw us down in our seat. Okay, so now we will kind of speed things up just a little bit. And then once we're in the water, we're going to take one more barometer report, and then we're going to recover the vessel. So we will have gotten quite a bit of science out of this mission. Go 2 times here. Just trying to be real careful. You don't want to get crazy and hit the water at a higher impact. All right, 20 meters, we can wait that out. All right, so now splash up. Okay? So there we go. We're down, we're safe, and we're good to go. So now we're going to take a reading. See, atmospheric scan from Kerbin's water. Collect the data. We got another 4.8 science out of it. We're going to keep the data. We're going to go up here, and we're going to recover the vessel. All right? And that is how we do that. So now we have run through the basics with the Presmat barometer. All right, how much science did we get? A bunch. So we got a crew report flying over the water. We got atmospheric pressure scan flying at Kerbin, pressure scan from the launch pad, pressure scan from Kerbin's water, and we got even a little bit from recovery of vessels survived a flight. We got 28 science. We earned 21, now we're up to 28. Next, we recovered everything. So basically we recovered everything we need to do. And Valentina got 1 XP. We got some reputation. All right, so let's go into R&D. And now we can research. Now we could, no, that takes 45, so we can't research that. We're going to research stability. So that'll leave us with 10, and we got some new parts. Okay. Now we're going to fly another one of these missions, and I'm going to show you just, well, actually, let me get out of the VAB, and I can better show you this. Again, the VAB is the Vehicle Assembly Building. All right, that's the big structure at Kennedy Space Center, where they used to put the space shuttle together on its stack and everything. Okay, so here's Kerbin Space Center, right? Now, each section of this, see how there's like a road around it when I mouse over the VAB, see how it kind of lights up around it? And the mission control, spaceplane hangar, you see that? Each of those counts as a biome. And you can conduct science in each of those locations. The launch pad's a biome, the runway is a biome, VAB, mission control, spaceplane hangar, astronaut complex, administrative building, R&D hangar, and the tracking station all are biomes. So as soon as we can start getting aircraft parts, we may have basic aircraft parts too. In fact, I don't think so, but maybe. Let's take a look. Because there are some things we can do. If there's landing gear, we can work it. I don't think we have landing gear available yet. No, we don't. Because you can build like a little rocket car. And you can scoot around the KSC, and you can do science around the complex, okay? Which is cheap and easy and silly, but it gets you science. And you need science to unlock science, which gets you more science, which gets you everything else. All right, so this is the Kerbal Space Center. Once you get over to about here, right here at the coast, that's Kerbin's Shores. Let's go this way. See if I can pan the camera to the right a little bit. No. Oh, I got to right click to rotate. There we go. All right. So this area, right along the beach there's a strip. I mean, it's right past the end of the runway. Basically, it's right in this area here. And it stretches all the way around. But that's Kerbin's Shores. Okay. What's that little piece of schmutz over there, A-Train? That's a good question. That's the monolith. If you're familiar with 2001, 2010, you know what the monolith is. And we can go over there and visit it sometime. It's just something goofy to go see. All right, let me. So we've gotten data from the water. Let me bring the view around. All right, so here we go. Let's look over in the distance. All right, this is part of the Kerbin Shores along here. All right, you get into this area here, and you get into the grasslands. Okay. Now over here in the lighter green in the distance, before you get to the mountains, that's the highlands. And then when you get over to the mountains, obviously, you're in the mountains. Ta-da! And then off to the, we're looking to the southwest now. Remember I said we're on like a peninsula? Way off over in the southwest, over the other side of the mountains, is the other side of Africa, or, you know, this continent, whatever it's called. And there's desert there, all right? So let me see, let's go into the tracking station. And let me see if I can zoom in close enough. All right, very good. So this is here. All right, so we're underneath here. You got the grasslands in this area. You got the highlands in this area. Then you got the mountains here. Now, you've got other places where there's highlands and grasslands and mountains. We're just worried about the stuff that's close because we can go get science there. And then you start getting into the desert. See, this is all desert over here. Well, this is actually desert right here. That's part of the desert biome. So we can take a trip over there and get some science too. That's really more when we build a endo-atmospheric plane as opposed to like a space plane. So we'll do that in a future episode. But for now, we have... hello. Let's rebuild the world here. We've gathered more science. We've unlocked more stuff. Do we want to make a big flight here? You know what? We'll take a shot at it. Let's do that. Let's take a shot. All right, we've unlocked some new toys. So we need the Mark 1 command pod, and we need a parachute. All right, so we're going to click that and drop it on top. Now, here are some radial mount parachutes. Now, what do those do? You mount them on the sides radially, and they act to slow your spacecraft down as well. All right, now we got fuel tanks. Liquid fuel tanks. This one is double the size of this one. All right, so this is the 100. This is the 200, and then the next one's the 400, and then it goes up from there. Okay, and these are the small tanks. These fit basically right under the size of that Mercury capsule. We'll call it the Mercury capsule. All right, so when you grab a part, you drag it over here. You can drop it on the screen, and it just sits there. If it's going to lock in, you can see the little green and black ball, and you can kind of see that there's one under the capsule. Let's see if I bring the camera view down here. All right, that means it will line up and it will snap just like that, snap into place. All right, And then if you want to drop it, just drag it over here, left click, boom, it goes away. All right? That's how that works. Now, we're going to test the hammer solid fuel booster. So we've got the big, whoa, wait a minute. Oh, we got to test the hammer or the thumper? I think we're supposed to test the thumper. Where's our active contracts? We've got active contracts over here. Is that this? That's engineer's report. It's right here. Contracts. Okay, test the thumper. Oh. We're not testing the hammer. We got to test the big one. Yikes. All right, so you mouse over this. Okay, and here's the trick. See the speed? That's the trick. This thing has a lot of thrust. So you basically have to downrate it. Oh, and I mentioned that last episode, so let me show you how you downrate it. Look how big this thing is. It's a beast. You don't want to do this just the way I'm doing this. This won't work good. Okay, so you mouse over and then you right click. And there's a thrust limiter and there's a solid fuel amount. You can lower this by left clicking and dragging. So you can cut down to like half fuel, and you can cut it down to like, 60% thrust or whatever. All right. So this is how you adjust your solid fuel boosters, because some of these missions you may not need A, all the fuel capacity, or B, all the thrust output that they're capable of providing. All right. You just may not need it for your whatever mission is that you're performing. All right. So let me drag this off here. Okay, so how would we connect it? Well, we don't have any command control. We have structural. We have a strut. We have a coupling device. Aha! That's what we need right there. So let's move up a little bit. We need this guy, the stack decoupler. This goes on. Oh, wait. We need one more thing first. Well, we can set this here for now. We need a thermal. There's a heat shield. So here's the 0.625 meter heat shield. That's the tiny one. That's too small for us. We need to test the 1.25 meter one. Doink, it fits perfect. See that? Nice, smooth, snug fit. All right? Like a pair of gloves on OJ's hand. Wait, what? Oh, wait a minute. Damn it. They want the 0.625 meter one tested. Okay, fine. Let's take that off. Let's get this one. We can slap this on here because our craft does have thermal protection. All right? Look here. Yeah, it's got transmitter. All right, I'm going to whoops, wait a minute. No, I'm just going to put it on here. Yep. All right, right mouse button, pin. Okay. All right, let's scroll down here. Collectible data, no. Rerunnable, resettable, science experiment. Electric charge is not much electric charge. Monopropellant, that allows you to maneuver when you're in space. Pitch roll relative wing area. Oh, here we go. This is what I was looking for right here. Doofus. All right, this will tolerate 50 Gs. It will tolerate an impact of 14 meters per second. Max temperature, interior and skin, 2200 Kelvin. Okay, that's the key. So let's go back here to thermal. We'll mouse over this guy. This guy does 3,300 Kelvin, as does this one. Okay, so they'll get a lot hotter. I'm pretty sure we can re-enter without the heat shield. But here's what I'm actually going to try to do. Let me click on this heat shield and pull it off because we got to test this one. Now see how it turned red because it's not happy where it is. Let's put this guy on to protect us. Then let's put this guy on this guy. Doink. So now we've got a heat shield on a heat shield. All right, we just went to the Department of Redundancy department. And actually, I think we just tucked it into this heat shield. So I take this one off, and I think the little one is within it. No, come on. I get used to these stupid controls again. All right, where did the, oh, it's on the bottom. There it is. So that's good. That'll work. Okay, so we got both the heat shields on. Now we're going to put the stack decoupler on, just like that. All right. So that's all good. Now, what's our next part of the aspect of the mission? We got to test the BACC thumper. Okay, big ass thumper. Okay. 18,000. The only structural thing we have right now is this. Oh, you know what we do have, though? We have something that's going to be really necessary, and that is aerodynamic. That would be right here. That would be this winglet. This one is a basic fin. This simple built-on aluminum fin may not be the cutting edge of aerospace engineering, but it's dirt cheap and will make your rocket slightly less unstable. That's great. But this fin, nothing is really known about this thing. Use it at your own risk. Okay, it was found lying by the side of the road. Yes, the guys who make this game just have a great sense of humor. It's fantastic. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to rotate just a little bit here. And we are going to put this fin right here. I'm actually trying to set it down. And then we're going to go for 4 of them. So we're going to go X, X, X. All right. So that's putting them symmetrically around the rocket. And if we scroll down, yeah, see, the rocket will now be resting on those fins. All right, that should help us. Okay. That should help us because we don't really have a launch structure at the moment. Okay. All right. All right. So now over here is our staging setup. Now, so what we'll do is we'll fire the booster. Then when the booster burns out, we'll hit this to uncouple it. All right. And then we'll deploy the parachute. Now we can do multiple things at one time. We could uncouple and deploy the drogue, but we'll be really high up when we do that. So we don't need to worry so much about that. All right. So we need to get some science. So we're going to get a couple of... Ooh, we don't need 4 Mr. U. Shift XX. That takes us down to 2. Put Mr. U containers here on the sides like this. All right, we're going to put on some Mat barometers. Okay. And we are for giggle... Well... For giggle's sake, we're going to put on 3 of them. Okay. And then we're going to put on 3 too hot thermometers. All right. So we're going to put those right there, and there's going to be 3 of them. So now I'm going to right click and see how they're just either side of the crew hatch. We're not going to be using the crew hatch in this flight anyway, so it's okay. All right. But now we've got all that. Now, there's one more. I just want to make sure. Wait a minute. Electrical. We don't have a battery yet. I'm not going to worry about transmitting data. We should be able to get one crew report. You know what? Screw it. If we can get data, let's get data. Let's go to communication and put on the Communitron 16. We only need 1. Shift X. Go down to 1. Let's zoom in. Whoop, that's not the zoom button. Plus button is the zoom button. Thank you. Mouse up and down, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we're going to put the Communitron right here. I'm going to hit Shift S. Shift S allows us to rotate something upward, and that way it will transmit and stay out of the way of the parachute. I don't think that is ever a physics problem, but, you know, I just kind of want to be legit like that. Okay. Who's our pilot going to be here? Let's see how we're looking. Jebediah and Valentina both have experience. All right. You know what? Let's let Jebediah take the mission. I mean, Valentina. Let's take... we'll take Valentina on this one. All right? Just so it seems, you know, like I'm an equal opportunity Kerbal abuser. Okay? All right. So again, we check yo staging, as Scott Manley likes to say. Booster. Oh, wait. You know what we want to do here? We are going to thrust limit this sucker to like 50%. Okay. And we're going to fuel limit to 574. That's 2/3. Left click. There we go. 656. Yeah, you know what? All right, 574 it is. Now, here's the objective of this mission. All right. A, fly safely and recover Valentina. B, get to the second layer of the atmosphere and take a crew report, because that'll be science. C, gather any scientific data we can from that altitude. And then D, try to actually perform the missions. All right, so again, the Thumper, 270 meters per second to 450 meters per second between 19,000 and 27,000 meters. Test the heat shield, we've got to get to 49,000 meters, okay? And our speed's got to be pretty high. Shoot. That could be a problem. I don't think we're going to be able to do both those missions. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how to disassemble something and make changes. See how everything's turning green when okay? It's the lowest part. Everything that's connected. So this booster is the parent part for the wings, for the fins, okay? It connects it to the command pod. Now, if I mouse over the decoupler, the booster lights up and the fins light up, all right? This is the part I want to move. So I'm going to left click, left click, left click, there, and we're going to move it aside. Now, I want to move my view down slightly, and I want to try to grab this little... There it is. No, I don't want the whole damn heat shield. I just want the little one. There you go. That's the one I want. All right, we're going to ditch this because I don't think we're going to get that high. All right. So we are going to recouple here at this point. Now, it made this little shroud, and that's okay. Staging is good. We got all our scientific stuff. Now, see, if I mouse over like this, the goo pod, it's the only thing that lights up green. If I mouse over the parachute, it's the only thing that lights up green. It's not a parent part. Now, the capsule is a parent part to the entire rocket, okay? So if I mouse over the capsule, that covers the whole rocket, everything on it. See how everything's lit up green? That's how that works, that relationship works. So again, if I come down here to a lower part, it's just going to take into account those parts. Okay, Valentina's on board. I think we're all set. I hope Valentina's still on board. Yep, we're good. We are going to head out to the launch pad. We've checked our staging, and let's rock and roll. Let's see if we can test this Thumper booster and get some science here real quick and safely recover Valentina. And then we'll go shopping and we'll wrap up this episode. Hopefully this rocket's going to stand on its own. We're not going to foo-foo around a long time, though, to find out. But it should be stable on those 4 fins. All right? Now, it's set at 50% throttle. Again, you cannot control the throttle on a solid fuel booster. We set that earlier. We're going to set the SAS on. Valentina's ready. Everybody's ready? All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch. Nice smooth liftoff. We're going to pull our view back here. Valentina looks happy. We're going to start rolling the vehicle to the right slightly to get us aimed out over the water. We're going to watch the solid fuel indication on the left. Now, let me tell you a little bit about the controls you're seeing here. As I'm very slowly rolling the vehicle over. I could be yawing the vehicle, actually. Yeah, in fact, I am yawing the vehicle. Or, yeah. Because we're not pitching. Yeah, see the yaw, roll, pitch, and yaw indicators are here. See, so if I'm full right, we're in full yaw. Pitch is nose up, nose down, which is indicated by the window. Yaw is left, right, and then roll is rolling around the center of axis, okay? You learn that pitch, roll, and yaw are around the X, Y, and Z axis of the vehicle. All right, here's our fuel indication. We're going too fast now for this, but we're into the test range of the booster. We've got to get higher, though. Now, see this indicator here in the atmosphere? See, it's about to pass into this darker blue region, which is another biome. Whoa, we just freaking zoomed in too far. All right, now, we're into the second region of the atmosphere. So now I'm going to take a crew report. We're still over the shores. So that kind of sucks. We'll reset that. What I am going to do is right-click on the Observe Mystery Goo. Goo jiggles. Okay, that didn't do a whole lot for us. Oh, shit, I just reset it. I really shouldn't have. All right, observe it. All right, we're about to run out of fuel. We're going to coast our way up. This is good. We're coming up really fast. All right, we're going to keep that experiment. We're going to log the pressure data. We got 10 science. We're going to keep that experiment. We're going to log temperature data. This is the upper atmosphere now. This is the region we're in now. So we pass through here. We'll have to get that coming back down. All right. So now we've got upper atmosphere. Let's see if we can get a goo report from here. Yeah, now, see? So now we got a good goo report. All right, now let's review. Remember, we've got 3. We're still going uphill pretty quick. Log pressure data. Upper atmosphere. I think we already did the upper atmosphere. So here's what we can do. Right click. We're going to... Aha, that got us some science. And we'll transmit that. We're going uphill still pretty quick. Oh hell, we got no electric charge left. This is not good. I hope we can deploy the parachute or Valentina's kind of screwed. Alright. Let's get rid of that. That's our dead weight. Which, I don't know. I don't know if we successfully tested. I think we did. Oh, we got world's first. Yeah, we got a bunch of world's firsts here. Okay, great. That's our electric charge. Ah! Oh, damn it! We didn't fully... We didn't fully satisfy the test requirements for the thumper. I don't know if we needed to click on it or something. I got a little caught up in other stuff. So we had some scope creep there. I'm going to try to get us oriented. I don't think we've got any thruster control at this point because we have no power. So this is a problem. Valentina's enjoying the ride, but this could be bad. We need the ship to kind of stabilize here, and I don't think it's going to. So here's the upper atmosphere, so we can keep that experiment. So we're starting to come down now. And what may happen is the goo containers may burn off. So this could be, we may be showing this as a aborted flight because we flew it in the simulator. And I'm kind of thinking that's what we're going to do. We're going to time warp ahead. Okay, now the ship's getting stable. Now it's stabilizing based on its the downward. Okay, it's going to get stable. We're going through the atmosphere. Okay, we're coming down. Whoa, 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 whoa. Shit. Okay. Rotate. Crap. Hurry up. Okay, we already got that, so that's good. Okay, let's see. I don't think we can do a crew report at this point. Oh, yeah, we can, because we got... It's not going to do us any good. Okay, let's try... Ah, good. Woo! Hooray! We were able to pop the chute. That's good. That's all that matters. We get to save Valentina. The mission is a success. And we set some firsts. And we've collected science. So our third, fourth, fifth, whatever mission we want to say, that was the stupid booster test. We didn't pass it, but that's okay. All right. So you see, mouse over this thing here, and it says Kerbin flying, but now we're not in the speed regimen, nor are we in the altitude envelope. Now the heat shield, we didn't get going fast enough to test this, and I don't think we will, unless we're actually coming in from orbit. So that will have to be a deorbiting test. All right, so let's go back up here and just speed us up a little bit, get us down, so we can see what we have gained. Oh, by the way, ARG, it's Talk Like a Pirate Day. Which means obviously I'm recording this on Tuesday for Wildcard Wednesday, because I want to be able to schedule it to launch in the morning so you guys can, especially folks in Europe, can enjoy it during the day. All right, here we come, and splashdown. Hooray. We're here. Let's go ahead and recover the vessel and get out of here and see what we got. All right, jump back to the KSC. Now we're going to lose the cost of the booster and the fins and the fuel, but we recovered the capsule and all the scientific experiments. So we're going to make money, but we also, oh, damn, look there. We're in 38 science. Sweet. We got 53, so we can buy stuff. So we did a crew report in Kerbin's upper atmosphere. That was 4.5. Mystery grew observation while flying at Kerbin. That wasn't too impressive. Mystery grew from the upper atmosphere. Okay. Now, this is where, yeah, see, that's where I missed some opportunities. You start getting a little panicky like I did there. And see, so we got from the upper atmosphere, but not from the lower atmosphere, which is between 7,000 meters and 30,000 meters or so. All right, there was that gap there. We've got a temperature scan from upper atmosphere. Temperature scan flying over Kerbin's water. Temperature scan from the upper atmosphere. Vessel survived a flight. Okay. Parts and crew. Valentina, let's see what she got. No XP gain. That sucks. All right, she should have gotten hooked up for that. That was a big flight. Now we're up to 190,000. So we made some cha-ching there. All right. So that was good. Okay, she's done. All right, so let's go check out what parts we can get. Because we have 53 science. Advanced rocketry. We can get the Terrier liquid fuel engine, which is a very good engine to have for upper stages. And we can get the bigger fuel tank. That said, we don't really need the bigger fuel tank at the moment because we can stack 2 of the smaller fuel tanks. Where this becomes a factor is when you start counting number of parts on a rocket. And you remember when we looked at the VAB earlier, you can only put like 18 parts on a rocket right now, or 30 maybe. When you start stacking all this science on there, you start racking up part counts, and then it helps to have bigger fuel tanks, because then you don't need 2 to make what you can do with 1. All right. Now, next, general construction. This the key piece here is this launch stability enhancer, which is basically a gantry that holds the rocket up. Okay. Also, you get a Mark 1 crew cabin, and you get structural fuselage. And you get strut connectors, which are great. Strut connectors help hold stuff together. Then there's a container mount. There's a container which you can put stuff in. Rockamax brand decoupler. This is for bigger rockets to decouple. Okay. So this is the next size up. And then this is the adapter that takes us from 1.25 to 2.5 meters. This is a 2.5 meter decoupler. Okay. Now, then we have aviation. We may be going here because this has the basics, yes. All right, so this has some basic airplane parts, including the jet engine, or it has the intake. There's the jet engine. It has the cockpit. It has wing pieces, all right, and including control surfaces, okay. And it has fuel tanks and landing gear. So we can build basic aircraft with these parts, and we can make that little scooter car I was telling you about to drive around the Kerbal Space Center, almost called it the Kennedy Space Center, to research stuff. Okay, so this is what we're probably going to get because it will allow us to get science on the cheap. Flight control. Here we go. All right, so this has the mech jeb, which is an add-on. We're going to ignore that. The winglet, this is a flyable winglet. The Delta Deluxe winglet, which is also flyable. It gives you some flight control surface. And then there's a small inline reaction wheel, which I think is the .625 meter reaction wheel. And this helps give you more stability to your craft. Okay. Finally, there's basic science. We looked at this earlier. It has the Stay Putnik, has the 100 battery, and it has Science Junior, which is important. Boy, you know, it kind of becomes a toss-up because you really want to unlock science when you can get it. That should be the priority, because then you go back and redo everything you've done to get more science, right? So we could take a Science Junior out to the launch pad. Boom, there's one. We could take it and just do a quick flight. There's two. We can land in the water. We can run it. There's three. We could go a little into the lower atmosphere. That's four. We haven't done that one yet, right? So if we put three of them on a rocket, we could do just like we did with the barometer, the launch pad, the in-flight, and then in the water, and that would give us a bunch of science. And we've got the parts to go higher. So you know what? I think we're going to hold off on aviation. We're going to go ahead and research this. All right. So that gives us that. And that will set us up. We only have 8 left. So to get what we want next, which will be aviation, so we can fly around. I mean, we can fly to the biomes with the rocket if we're careful, but it takes a lot of precision to do that stuff. So the airplane makes it a lot easier. Plus, you can make the car, the research car, effectively. All right. So that's what we're going to do, and that's where we're going to wrap things up for this episode of Kerbal Space Program. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a like. I hope you're enjoying this so far. Wildcard Wednesday. Yeah, it's been the same thing a couple weeks in a row. I'm going to maybe look at slotting Kerbal Space Program in on a different day. We'll see how it goes. Also, if you enjoyed it, share it with your friends. I know Kerbal has been out there for a while, but hey, maybe you just enjoy my videos, and I think I'm kind of an entertaining and funny guy. Plus, I try to explain things in a non-technical way. And if you would, subscribe for more great content coming soon on the channel. I want to thank everyone who liked, subscribed, watched the videos, and hangs out with us. Comments or questions are welcome below, as well as constructive criticism. And we will catch you, I suppose the next video will be coming out on Feudal Friday, so look for that, right? Life is Feudal Forest Village, though I may do some planet-based before then, because kind of missed that over the weekend. All right, folks, I'm A-Train. It's over, and I'm out.